we have Senator-elect Jinggoy Estrada. Senator Estrada, kamusta po kayo? Welcome to The Source.
Good morning, Pinky, and to all televiewers. Magandang umaga po sa lahat.
Are you excited, sir, to go back to the Senate on, is it July 24 or 25?
Well, of course, I'm excited. No, it's on July 25, the son of the president.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm excited to work again in the Senate para makatulong sa ating mga kababayan.
There's a lot of issues and challenges that this administration will be facing. Let's talk about first current issues. Ano ho ang inyong thoughts or reaction with President-elect Bongbong Marcos taking the helm for the meantime, temporarily, as DA Secretary?
Well, I think it's a good decision on the part of the president and a very admirable one, if I may say. And it shows how decisive and very hands-on our president is. And it may not be the end-all or be-all solution to all the problems besetting the agricultural sector, including the food crisis. But for sure, decision-making will be really fast, and solutions can be undertaken and implemented right away dahil ang Pangulo na mismo ang magkukumpas dyan sa Department of Agriculture. Imagine the full powers and the focus of the President being directed to the agriculture sector. And I think it is an exciting time that the sector finally gets attention and the support it needs and deserves.
And definitely, sir, when it comes to the budget of the Department of Agriculture, it seems like whatever budget will be presented will have no problem, will have probably what we would say a smooth sailing in both houses of Congress.
I definitely think so.
Okay. So, pinag-usapan po natin high priority of this incoming administration with the President-elect taking on the portfolio as Department of Agriculture Secretary. I was able to speak to incoming NEDA Chief Balisacan, and he says we are actually experiencing an agricultural crisis. Sir, Senator, do you have programs or bills in mind to help the agriculture sector?
Well, right now I do not have any bills regarding the agricultural sector, but once the session begins, of course we all have to study what is proper and what will be the benefits for all our farmers.
If I'm not mistaken, and please correct me if I'm wrong, sir, you're a member of the Agriculture Committee back in the 15th Congress?
No, I don't think so.
You weren't? Okay.
I weren't.
All
I
right.
wasn't.
Thanks for that clarification. Okay, so pag-usapan po natin, obviously, a current, very important issue, excise tax. We are facing rising prices of oil. Sama na po dito yung basic commodities, humihina na rin po ang piso laban sa dolyar. There are two senators who are already planning to file a bill to suspend the excise taxes. Senator, would you support this?
Well, Pinky, the rise in fuel prices can be mainly attributed to the price of the crude oil in the world market, which is, I believe it's $100 per barrel. No? And the Philippines, our country is a heavy importer of oil and is more vulnerable to price increases compared to its Southeast Asian neighbors. And as mentioned by our President Duterte before, Indonesia may mga reserves, Malaysia may mga reserves, sa Pilipinas, wala tayong reserves. So every time bibili tayo gasolina, we use our own savings. In the news, everyone has been clamoring for the suspension of the excise taxes on fuel products brought about by Republic Act 10963 or the train law.
Yeah.
The first phase of that particular law in Train 1 provided for the reduced income tax rates for individuals, but at the same time also imposed new excise taxes on diesel, liquefied petroleum gas, kerosene, and bunker fuel. And is widely perceived to be the leading cause of the country's worsening condition. And I think I heard reports that the Secretary Dominguez told the cabinet meeting on Tuesday that the fuel excise tax imposed under highly opposed tax reform program must be retained because they already budgeted it for salaries of school teachers, yung build
Okay.
programs, and other expenses.
Yeah.
And I think hindi tutol din si Secretary Dominguez na isuspend yung excise taxes.
Yeah. Even President-elect Bongbong Marcos is very cold to this idea, no? Pero when you talk about the train law, there was a provision there that allowed actually a number of years for the suspension of excise taxes once it reaches 3 months of $80 and over per barrel. That provision rather in the train law has actually expired. Hence, Senator Grace Poe wants to file a bill on this na kapag umabot sa $80 per barrel ng 3 months na sunod-sunod, automatic po na matatanggal yung excise tax. Again, is this something worth looking into? Is this something you feel you would support as Senator?
Well, kailangan natin muna pag-aralan natin mabuti, no? Because I heard the Secretary of Finance, si Secretary Dominguez, proposed the government direct aid to the most vulnerable sectors, allocating around 33 billion for unconditional cash transfers to the bottom 50% of all households, or an estimated 74.7 million Filipinos. And this would mean each qualified household would receive 200 a month, or a
Apo.
total of 2,400 as aid. Alam mo, the fund for these targeted interventions will be sourced from the excess value-added tax, or in VAT,
Yeah.
collections resulting from higher prices. And as per Secretary Dominguez, suspension of the excise tax will only benefit the rich and not the poor.
Yeah.
Yun ang pinaka-importante sa lahat.
But what you
And
just, Senator, sorry,
if I may,
what you just mentioned
if I
is
may,
200 pesos a month. Ibig sabihin po 2,400 sa isang taon yon para doon sa mga sektor na sinasabi ninyo that Secretary Dominguez had.
Yes, yes,
Opo.
yes, yes,
Hindi ho
you're
ba
correct.
maliit yon, sir?
well, sa dami naman natin Pilipino. Medyo maliit, pero yun lang ang kaya natin eh. And if I may
Go ahead,
add,
sir.
Pinky, no? Secretary Dominguez pointed out that the primary beneficiaries of the fuel excise tax suspension would actually be the top 10% of the country's household. So as they are estimated to use up around 48.8% of the Philippines' total fuel consumption this year, while the bottom 50% will only consume around 13.9%. This means that with the suspension of fuel excise taxes, we are supporting higher income households more than the lower income households.
Yung mayayaman.
Yes, yung mga mayayaman lang makikinabang. And Secretary Dominguez also said the proposal to suspend fuel excise taxes will only provide temporary and minimal relief to consumers, as the prices of goods are expected to go down by only 0.03 percentage points in 2022.
Excise taxes, sir. Excise taxes, if they were suspended for the meantime, that would allow a 10 pesos decrease. Pagbaba po ng presyo ng gas na 10 pesos and 6 pesos po for diesel. I understand what you're saying. Secretary Dominguez had mentioned that na talagang basically what is being said is that kapag tinanggal po itong excise tax, ang makikinabang lang yung, kumbaga, yung 10%, yung pinakamayayaman na lang. But let's talk practical terms, sir. Dahil po sa patuloy na pagtaas ng presyo ng petroleum products, tumataas din po yung presyo ng basic commodities. Would you say na ang tinatamaan lamang po nito ay yung poorest of the poor? Hindi ho ba pati na yung middle class, sabihin na natin, pati lower middle class?
Well, halos lahat naman tinatamaan eh. Pero ang mas tinatamaan, yung mga mahihirap. At Pinky, kung isususpend natin ang excise taxes na fuel, lalong babagsak ang ating ekonomiya. Uutang tayo ng utang, lalong lalaki at lalaki yung utang natin. Siyempre, utang na naman tayo sa iba't ibang bansa para to recover. Yun ang hindi maganda para sa atin.
So you don't support it?
I am not keen on support.
Okay. There's just one thing before we go on a break, sir, that Senator Pimentel was saying, na kapag nangyari po ito, government should implement belt-tightening measures. In other words, magtipid siguro yung gobyerno
Yes.
sa ilang mga budget nila for different
Magsikip
agencies.
na sinturon.
Opo. How about that? Because with your line of argument, we have to borrow money kapag ginawa natin to dahil obviously malaking pinagkukunan ng pera itong excise tax and VAT. Ano po? So isn't belt-tightening measures by the government an option?
Yes, it is an option. I agree with Senator Coco Pimentel.
Okay.
And it is up to the new administration on how to tighten the belt.
Okay. We need to talk about a campaign promise of Senator Jinggoy Estrada, jobs. What are his plans? But we need to take a very short break. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Please stay tuned.
Fried chicken? Timplang happy! With easy-to-cook Magnolia Chicken Timplados. Iba't ibang sarap ng chicken, kaya. Anong Magnolia Chicken Timplados mo?
You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. I'm Pinky Webb. Our source today, Senator Jinggoy Estrada. Senator, nung kampanya po, hindi ho ba isa sa mga naging pangako ninyo ay trabaho? So, let's just put the numbers here. PSA says that as of April, there are 2.76 million jobless Filipinos. At sir, posible pong madagdagan ito dahil I'm sure, alam nyo, dahil sa pagtaas ng presyo ng produktong petrolyo, marami po sa ating mga driver, kababayan ng mga driver ng jeep, taxi, ay naghahanap na lang po ng ibang trabaho. What is your plan regarding this, sir?
Well, first of all, yes, that is true. That is one of my campaign promises during the campaign to provide jobs because of what happened to us during the pandemic. Marami nawalan ng trabaho, marami nagkasakit, marami nagsimatayan because of COVID-19 at talaga nakakaawa. Lalo na yung mga mahirap na nawalan ng trabaho. First of all, we have to strengthen the agriculture sector, strengthen the tourism sector, and third, we have to tinker with the Constitution with regard to the economic provision. Dahil umayag na yata si incoming President Bongbong Marcos na pwede na magkaroon ng 100% foreign ownership dito sa atin. And that I totally support at magkakaroon tayo. We can generate more jobs pag pwede na ang 100% ang foreign ownership. We have to tinker with or amend the Constitution with regard only to the economic provision.
The economic provisions under the Constitution.
Yes.
And before we go to that, sir, you said strengthening the agriculture and tourism sector. How?
Well, we have to give more funds to the Department of Agriculture and Department of Tourism. Kailangan natin palakasin o bigyan ng insentibo ang ating mga magsasaka. No? At talagang right now, kaya nga sinabi ko kanina, talagang ako'y hanga sa desisyon ng ating, I admire the decision of incoming President Bongbong Marcos that he will lead the agriculture sector and focus on the problems of the Department of Agriculture. And I think the incoming Tourism Secretary, si dating Mayor Cristina Frasco, is a very good choice for her to lead the Department of Tourism. I know she can make a difference in her department.
What programs, measures, or bills do you plan to file in Congress to address the unemployment in the country?
Well, first, I made a campaign promise is to strengthen the magkakaroon ng unang-una yung strengthening the National Wage and Productivity Commission, yung flexi time ng private sector, tsaka yung Magna Carta for the seafarers, no? And I have here in my notes
Sure, sir.
an act establishing the National Manpower Data and Placement Center and providing funds thereof.
Yeah. Creation,
An act providing
ito po,
for a
tama.
working,
Go ahead, sir.
an act, wait, masyado marami kasi ito eh.
Actually, I have it here, sir. It says creation
all
of the...
related bills, no?
Oh, it says creation of the National Employment Assistance Center and the National Manpower Data and Placement Service. Are these two new organizations that you want to create?
Yes, definitely,
Okay.
Pinky.
So, ano ho ang magiging focus o trabaho ng National Employment Assistance Center? Tapos yung pangalawa po, yung National Power Data and Placement Service. Bakit ho kailangan itong dalawa? Oh, sorry sir, I think you're on mute. We are having some technical problems. We will be taking a very short break. We'll be right back.
What's ahead for energy efficiency and conservation in the country? We'd like to think it's bright. Ang energy efficiency at conservation, ito yung hawak natin, nasa kamay natin ito.
You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. I'm Pinky Webb. Our source today is Senator Jinggoy Estrada. Senator, apologies for that, and to our viewers as well. We were having technical difficulty. Senator, pag-usapan po natin yung sinabi niyong create this National Employment Assistance Center at National Manpower Data and Placement Service. Tell us more about this.
Well, yung National Manpower Data Center, parang yung peso bill, no? Maglalagay tayo ng siguro isang department under the Department of Labor. Hindi naman department or isang, what do you call this? Isang agency under the Department of Labor na parang peso bill na lahat ng data na kailangan ng mga nangangailangan ng trabaho, magre-register doon.
Okay.
So we have to strengthen itong National Data Manpower Center. National Employment Assistance Center. Parang yung peso office lang yan.
I see. Okay. But I'm sure that you've realized that one of our bigger problems is this, yung tinatawag pong mismatch. Hindi po nagmamatch yung trabaho doon po sa kakayahan ng empleyado or vice versa. Is this something that needs to be looked into, and what must be done?
Definitely. Well, I will have to consult with the officials of the Department of Labor and Employment with regard to the yung tinatawag na mismatching na sinasabi po ninyo.
Ito pong Department of Migrant Workers, is this, meron na po yan supposed to be funding for next year? Tell us more about this. Have you studied this
I am
enough?
not sure if that has already been funded or that has been included in the General Appropriations Act yet, because I was not a member of the Senate last year. No, hindi ko alam kung napondohan na yung Department of Migrant Workers. But of course, again, the choice of incoming President Marcos of Secretary Toots Ople to head the Department of Migrant Workers is a very good choice. I have known incoming Secretary Toots Ople ever since I handled the Committee on Labor when I first became a senator. Talagang alam na alam niya ang mga problema ng ating mga overseas Filipino workers.
Yeah, she has been there helping them out for decades. Ano po?
Aral na aral sa tatay niya.
Apo. Senator, what about this? There are proposals to actually lift ito pong deployment ban sa Saudi Arabia for newly hired domestic helpers. Sang-ayon ho ba kayo? And the other question is, kung sang-ayon kayo, paano po yung mga kaso ng abuses in terms of hindi po nababayaran yung ating mga kababayan ng kanilang sweldo?
Saan mo nakuha yung idea na ibang paano yung deployment ng ating mga workers sa Saudi Arabia?
There is a present deployment ban, sir, for new hires sa Saudi Arabia, for new hires.
Well,
Presently.
There must be a reason for it.
Yeah.
Kung bakit may ban. No? I was not privy to it because I was not yet a member of the Senate. Well, I have to know the reason for the ban of the deployment of our workers in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. The ban, sir, is related to a number of our Filipino workers there who have not been paid for years. Yun po yung issue doon.
Kailangan habulin yung recruitment agency.
I see.
We have to, kailangan siguro mag-stricto na tayo sa pagre-recruit doon sa mga, lalo-lalo yung mga illegal recruitment agencies.
Opo. Priority bills that you plan to file?
Well, I have said earlier, yung creating yung National Data Manpower Center,
Okay.
tapos yung Magna Carta for seafarers. I think I have filed that particular bill when I was still a senator, yung Magna Carta for seafarers, and I plan to refile it in the 19th Congress.
And how would that benefit them?
The seafarers?
Opo.
Well, parang yung ginawa
Magna
ko
Carta for
sa
women.
Batas Kasambahay, no, yung Kasambahay Law. At marami naman na nakinabang ng mga kasambahay dun sa aking landmark legislation bill.
Yeah.
Ganun din naman siguro ang mangyayari sa ating mga seafarers.
I see.
Lahat na siguro ng mga benepisyo ay ating pwedeng ibigay po ng gobyerno ay basta kaya ng gobyerno ating ibigay.
Which really, for our kasambahay, sir, yung nag-set po ng minimum wage para sa kanila. Kailangan po yung kanilang pahinga, hindi ho ba? Kailangan meron silang PhilHealth at kailangan
Correct.
meron silang SSS.
Correct. Kailangan may kontrata yan between the employer and the kasambahay.
Okay.
At palagay ko, marami naman siguro ang nakikinabang po siguro sa kasambahay doon, around 2 to 3 million kasambahay all over the country. At natutuwa naman sila, kailangan silang magkaroon ng day off. Kailangan mas kung ano yung kinakain din ng amo nila, ito lang ipakain din sa mga kasambahay dahil at binigyan natin sila ng dignidad yung ating
Right.
mga kasambahay. Dati, ang tawag natin sa mga kasambahay, katulong, maid, muchacha, alila, atchay. Pangit, masakit na sa tenga eh. Kawawa naman itong mga kasambahay natin.
They are in
ito yung
fact our
one of
employees.
the neglected sectors of our society.
Opo.
Kasama natin sa bayan, kung uwi yung amo ng madaling araw, sino nagbubukas ng pintuan natin, di ba kasambahay din? Minsan yung mga kamag-anak natin, hindi naman, minsan hindi rin tulog ng madaling araw, hindi naman sila magbubukas ng pintuan para sa atin, lalo na yung mga amo na madaling araw umuwi,
Opo.
katulad ko.
Katulad po nino. Katulad po ninyo, sabi nyo. Okay. Senator, thank you so much for your time. I know you took time out, no? Kasi nga, nagbabakasyon po kayo. So maraming salamat po sa inyong oras. Senator Jinggoy Estrada, sir.
Thank you, Pinky.
Thank you.
My honor.